Hey, Matt Jasa here. Going to be doing another episode of Glass Science today, episode 11, the critical water experiment. I'll be taking this water well beyond 600 degrees, which is the critical point, and we'll see what happens. I'm starting off with this 12mm tube. I'm just going to take off some excess glass, give it a little bit of puff to even out the walls and open it up for the experiment. And the idea of this experiment is to show what happens to water when it gets to such an extreme temperature. So as water boils, of course it changes into steam, into a gas, and then you would think as you increase that temperature that the process would just happen even faster. It would just flash into, a massive amount of steam. But here, what happens is actually the quite opposite. We get what is called the critical point, roughly around 600 degrees. And so then it'll maintain that critical phase above that temperature, and it's kind of the same as the liquid phase or the solid phase with water. And as I mentioned at the start of the video, the glass right now is well over 600 degrees. With that red hot glow, almost white hot glow at times, I can tell just by looking that if I would pinch it with the tweezers, it would just come off like honey. I mean, it is literally just molten glass with water trapped on top of it. And that would be around somewhere above 1500 degrees Fahrenheit and 800 Celsius. And it almost looked like the footage was sped up just because the action in the water was happening so fast. But actually it was just normal speed footage, and here I've gone ahead and slowed it down quite a bit. But real quick, I do want to go into how I stumbled upon this experiment. I was actually doing some testing for another video that needed a lot of steam, like really quick steam. And so then I was trying to get it, and basically this is what happened. I got some really weird action. So this is where the distilled water comes into play, because I had two hypotheses here. Either it was it seemed like some kind of relative action that I didn't really quite understand yet, or it was actually a mineral left over from the hard water in the studio, because the studio has some hard water here, and maybe it was just solidifying into these little metal BBs. Because from my perspective, without really slowing it down and looking at it like this, because it does look so much different, it looked like just little round spheres rolling around. And you'll see that more coming up in a little bit. I mean, it was a little bit too hot for the experiment, and you'll see it when I let it cool down. But before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and start heating up the entire apparatus, have it kind of melt back and blow it out again. And I'm doing this a few times, and this is just kind of thickening up the walls. That way, when I do drop the water in, the walls will retain that heat much more. And it also magnifies the experiment, which is kind of cool. Now with those walls really thickened up, I'm going to go ahead and drop a drop in and see what happens. So I'm having some trouble with this flask, trying to get it drop. Oh no, that's too much. Oh, it's getting hot too. I'm going to have to drop it. Oh no. Oh, that was terrible. I kind of lost all the distilled water I made the other day, so I'm going to have to make some more. Here's the distillery again. If you guys haven't checked out that episode, it was just the last one I did. I made some updates to the no-wick lamp. I opened up the top to give it some more surface area to burn more fuel. And then I also doubled up the candles, as you can see, and it's just really roaring a heavy flame. You can see the steam kind of puffing in the flask on the right, condensation. It's kind of cool. Now some clear distilled water. I can get back to the experiment. And I forgot to mention too, it was after I made that little discovery that I did the research and found it was a critical phase and what was going on exactly. So here I went ahead and mounted one of the magnifying glasses I've made on a tripod and zoomed the camera's lens through that lens into the apparatus. Right here is really an optimal view of what happens right at the critical point, right above 600 Fahrenheit, about 313 Celsius. You get a lot of the solid sphere action going on, just little BBs like I said before. And I actually decided I won't be going too much into the explanation part of the critical phase, just because I feel it's almost better to give you the observations, let you create these own ideas for yourself, some hypothesis, then maybe direct you in the right direction. And then for those of that are really interested, really want to learn more, you can check out everything, written about it, recorded about it, and get more of an understanding from what your own perspectives were, rather than just quoting the literature, just repeating what the website says. That's one of the main goals of my channel here, is just to avoid repeating the information. Oh noes, it's starting to break apart. I'm gonna have to dump this real quick before it explodes. I think it's good to point out that you really don't want to do this at home. This is really a advanced experiment. I've been doing this quite a few times to get it to this point. And here you can just see just spinning around the sphere just really fast. Very energetic. I looked up other videos at the time, which was last year when I was doing the experiment, and I was surprised how all the videos I found were just really expensive labs, multi-$1,000 equipment, apparatuses, which was cool, but the only problem I had was they were done all in sealed containers, completely filled with water, so you weren't seeing the action you're seeing here. And as that last droplet was rotating around the area, this one just seems to pull in the middle and then just rotate in a circle. And it goes crazy fast too. So to give you a quick update on the channel, the glass cannon will be back for some more destruction. The water bending experiment, that's going to be coming back. There's some more variables still to do there. And that giveaway, of course I haven't forgotten about that. I decided I'm gonna make it a great glass giveaway. I'm giving away multiple items here. It's gonna be pretty nice, pretty big, and it's really just a big kickoff for the channel. And I'll have to go over the rules and more of the details coming up later. Subscribing, of course, is gonna be one of the requirements. And then before I sign off, I gotta show you what it looks like at room temperature, of course, in the same vessel. You notice I'm trying to shake it here, but not a lot happens. It tends to like to stick to the walls of the vessel and form into an even layer of water instead of those spheres and drops that you're seeing. I'll definitely be coming back to this experiment later. It's one of the most important ones on the channel. I'll try to get some better footage and then go over a little bit more of what's going on next time. But thanks for watching, and as always, have a great day.